Hey everybody, it's Dave. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good for Monday. I'm seeing a lot of things that are popping up, and I really don't like it. Um, and not because it couldn't be the reason. I don't like it because I think it can put somebody in a wrong path and scare the crap out of people. So I'm going to talk about different reasons for vertigo. Okay, specifically, because lately I'm seeing people that are basically pretty much saying that if you have vertigo, it's an acoustic neuroma. That's false. I don't have an acoustic neuroma. I've had an MRI done on my head 4 or 5 times. There's no tumor there. Not everybody who has vertigo has an acoustic neuroma. Another reason people are saying that you have vertigo, and these aren't coming from people who are doctors either, which is the thing that's shocking. TMJ. If you have TMJ, that's where your vertigo is coming from. It's not Meniere's. It's not PPVBV. It's not this. It's not that. It's TMJ. No, TMJ is TMJ. Your vertigo issue is Meniere's BPBV. It could be TMJ, but we got to rule things out. And that's the thing with you. I'm going to go back. Acoustic neuroma. It's a little tumor that rests on your vestibular nerve. They go in, they clip it out. Bing, bang, boom. You never have vertigo again, if that's what it is. And most doctors, if you go to them having vertigo, if you go, they'll send you to an otolaryngologist or a neuro-otologist. And most times they'll say, okay, want to rule out a few things. Because they're going to, you're going to tell them all your symptoms. Tinnitus, vertigo, dizziness, off balance, drop attacks. And they say, okay, I'm going to rule out a tumor. You go for the MRI, you go for the CAT scan. Either it's there or it's not. So not everybody who has vertigo has an acoustic neuroma. The same thing with TMJ. If you have TMJ, your symptoms aren't going to match up with that. You're not going to get vertigo. You're not going to have hearing loss, for one. And you're probably not going to have tinnitus. And you're probably not going to be, your balance is probably going to be fine. So then, they'll send you to a specialized dentist, but they do very special x-ray of your head, and they can tell if your jaw is out of alignment, which is basically what TMJ is. But you have people that say, oh no, your vertigo is TMJ. It's not that. Even if you tell them, well, I've been tested for that, they'll still tell you that. No. And they're not doctors. POTS can give you vertigo. All I know is what the T and the S means. Tachycardia syndrome. And that can give you vertigo. Okay? And if your symptoms line up for that, like you're going to have a really fast heartbeat and all this stuff, they'll send you to a cardiologist. Your thyroid, overactive, underactive, can give you vertigo. Okay? It doesn't mean everybody who has vertigo has a thyroid problem. Most doctors do a blood test for it. I don't have a thyroid problem. Diabetes can give you vertigo. If your blood sugar drops, you can get vertigo. Or if it spikes up high, you can get vertigo. I know that because I have diabetes. But I would not say, oh, your vertigo is from diabetes. You don't have Meniere's. I'm not a doctor. But see, there's so many people out there that think they are doctors. And you can scare the hell out of people. Even people who have had it for a little while, all of a sudden start thinking, oh, maybe I've got that. Oh, maybe my Meniere's isn't this. Maybe my doctor's an idiot. And no, your doctor's not an idiot. Doctor doesn't go to 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 2 years of residency, 2 years of specialization. That's a lot of money. So I would assume that they're not idiots. But there's so many things. I mean, a concussion can give you vertigo. I know that because I've had many concussions. So I'm not going to say everybody who's had vertigo had a head injury, because that's not true. So do yourselves a favor. If you're seeing these things pop up, Either challenge the people who are making these posts. One of them I did challenge, never heard back. Challenge them. Because eventually their cards will fold. Because they're really just scaring people. They in the guise of thinking that they're helping. Well, if you make a post about acoustic neuroma and then make another post about PPPV, okay, that's helping. But when you're making the same post 4 times a day and basically telling people your Meniere's disease is a tumor, that's scaring the hell out of people. Okay? One more thing and that'll be it. When I first started coming to these groups, doing these groups, 2017, 9 years ago, I started going into them and then ended up founding a few. There was a person who was telling everybody that if they had true Meniere's disease, they would be dead in 2 years. Scared the crap out of hundreds of thousands of people. It was an everyday, 3 times a day person saying this. This is before I kind of got involved, but I challenged the person. I said, how is somebody going to die from Meniere's disease? They couldn't answer it. They just told me I'd be dead if I had true Meniere's disease. Well, when I started moderating groups, that person was the first one I removed and blocked because it was false. You were just scaring the hell out of people. And we can kind of do that same thing. Scare the hell out of people. Which is not what we want to do. Or we can give people, in all honesty, we can give people such high hopes about a medication, and then it comes down to that it doesn't work. Or it works for some, not others. And some people believe it's a cure, like the SPI-1005. How many here, in all honesty, think this is going to cure their Meniere's disease? Now I run the group 44.7 thousand people. I can guarantee about 20,000 of those people think this is a cure, and it ain't. It's going to help. Yeah, it's not a cure. It's going to make your life a little bit less stressful and more livable. Ain't a cure. But people got these high hopes because they're reading whatever. They're not even reading what they're supposed to be reading about it. And they got these high hopes, and people build up these high hopes. And then they crash. Because now you're back to square one. So that's another thing. You either can go too high or you can go too low. Almost like bipolar. I'm not saying you have bipolar, okay? I'm just saying, bipolar, you're either super high or super low. Well, depending upon what somebody posts, you can get really high or you can get really low. So on that note, I'll talk to you all later. Have a great night. See you in the next one.